What's up everybody? JD Golden Boy here with another video for you. And looking at my channel so far, the numbers are in. The audience wants more theories, and it's not even up for debate. And that works fine for me too, because theories are my favorite kind of video. So one of the biggest mysteries that I've always liked to watch are just videos on Blackbeard Devil Fruit options. There's so many different options that I'm actually going to start making a series of videos to speculate the potential fruits for Blackbeard. So it's a theory series. So let's just jump right into this fruit theory. So up first, just a quick review of Blackbeard's fruits. We know that he killed Thatch and has the Yummy Yummy dark fruit, and then at the end of Marineford, he snaked Whitebeard and grabbed the Quake fruit as well. And now everyone is speculating that he's gunning for a third fruit. So let's just think, if I'm Blackbeard, what do I need? If you watch the Ace fight, you see that Ace had some good hits on Blackbeard. However, Ace ultimately lost because he fought the way that Blackbeard wanted him to fight. If he just fought the way that a Logia should have fight, then I think Ace could have walked away with the victory. So for example, Blackbeard is slow as hell, limited attack range. I think Kizaru or anyone with Kizaru's Devil Fruit, the light fruit, could take Blackbeard. You can just shoot him from long range and then use your swift speed to dodge his attacks. It wouldn't be that hard. The way to beat Blackbeard is just, the classic Fortnite, run and hop shot. But if you get in range, he'll suck you in, pause, and then he'll break your skull with a Quake Punch. So that's not how you're supposed to take this guy on. You can't just go head on and attack him like that. Blackbeard has the ultimate counter. He also has the ultimate power, but the man has zero defense. In fact, the Yami Yami no Mi increases his damage intake. So thinking strategically, Blackbeard needs a fruit that will cover some of these bases for him. And he's going to want something that's going to boost his durability, his healing factor, and give him a bigger attack range as well. Another assumption that I'm going to make for this video is that Blackbeard, being the scheming genius that he is, he's going to seek to take the strongest Paramecia, the strongest Logia, and then finally the strongest zone. So very likely this means that there's a mythical zone that he has his eyes on. So for this video, for the very first one, let's think. What if Blackbeard shows up on Wano? I don't like the idea, but what if it's not for Kaido? We all speculate that he's on the hunt for the mythical zone, but I can't see him taking the Azure Dragon, the Seiryu fruit, because we've been in Wano fighting Kaido for, 3 years? It's been years now. And after the longest One Piece arc, I don't think Oda is going to continue to draw that Dragon Zone just for a different villain. However, one mythical zone in Wano that we have seen next to nothing about is Orochi's fruit. And before I even get into the real-life Japanese folktale of the Yamata no Orochi, I wanted to tell you about what happened at Edward Teach. That's the real-life pirate Blackbeard from the 1700s. Like the One Piece version, the real Blackbeard had a bounty on his head, and on November 22nd, 1718, Lieutenant Robert Maynard hunted down the real-life Blackbeard and decapitated him, and he kept the head for the bounty reward. And legend has it that Blackbeard's body swam 3 laps around the ship before dying and sinking to the depths of the seas. So just reading about how the real-life Blackbeard died reminds me of a certain little man syndrome shogun of Wano, who's been decapitated multiple times now, yet still lives. But enough about the real-life Blackbeard, let's talk about the Japanese mythology behind it. The Yamata no Orochi. So descending from heaven, the Japanese deity Susanoo found himself at the mouth of the high river. Following the river, he made his way to a small house, and there was an elderly couple crying there with their daughter. They told Susanoo that they had to sacrifice their daughter to an 8-headed snake beast known as the Yamata no Orochi, and they originally had 8 daughters, but each year the snake demanded a daughter for sacrifice, and they were down to their last child this year. Susanoo offered to defeat the snake if he could take their final daughter's hand in marriage. They promptly agreed, and they asked him for help. So he ordered the couple to brew strong sake and build a fence with 8 gates and 8 vats to hold the strong sake. With their preparation completed, they waited for the Orochi to wander over, and when it smelled the sake, it popped all 8 heads through the gates to drink, from the 8 vats of sake, passing out drunk shortly after. While the Orochi was asleep, Susanoo snuck in and cut off all 8 of its heads to defeat the monster. So this legend's been passed down in Japanese culture for centuries, as it's in the first recorded writings from Japan. I expect to learn and see more from Orochi's devil fruit in One Piece. A mythical zone like that, from Japanese legends, is wasted on a hack like Orochi. Now it's not enough reasoning to claim that Blackbeard will take it, but I think that he could take this fruit for 3 reasons. Number 1, Blackbeard is clever, and he's clever at planning his risk-reward situations. Going for this fruit is the best risk-reward choice of any devil fruit in the story to date, as far as we know. Orochi is weak, he's foolish, it would be so easy to take, especially now that he's been defeated by the Scabbards and Kaido. So number 2, another reason why Blackbeard would take this fruit is it adds exactly what he needs to his arsenal. With the Orochi fruit, he would have 8 lives, and there's a chance that the heads will have some sort of recovery ability, like the Hydras in Greek mythology. They had the ability to regenerate their heads, and that could be a healing factor that Blackbeard needs, increasing his long range with the long necks. In ancient Greek lore, the Lernaean Hydra could also breathe fire from its main head and spit venom from the others, so that would give Blackbeard the distance attacks that he needs. And maybe with a capable user, the Orochi fruit will be very defensive as well with its dragon scales. We saw Orochi tank a hit from Zeus' Thunderbolt, so the mythical zone checks all of the boxes for Blackbeard's fruit needs. So the third reason that I think we might have evidence for Blackbeard taking this is located right in his Jolly Roger. Blackbeard's Jolly Roger sports 4 crossed bones, but why? His number's 3, not 4. Everything you see about Blackbeard is 3. Well, unless you count these bones as 8 bones, and that's 1 for each head of the Yamata no Orochi. The Kojiki, the ancient record of Japanese history from 680 AD, describes the legend of the Yamata no Orochi as being defeated by one of the Japanese deities, Susanoo. It's not the main deity, Amaterasu, the sun goddess, but the malevolent god of storms, Susanoo. He was known for his trickery. He waited for the opportune moment to strike the Orochi. He got the snake drunk, and then he killed him in his sleep. And that's exactly how Blackbeard operates. He waits for an opportune moment with the least amount of work and the least amount of risk, and he'll sneak in and he'll take what he needs. I could totally see this. It fits his character narratively. So you might be saying, that's an interesting theory you got here, Golden Boy, but, well, we know Blackbeard isn't coming to Wano because he has plans already. Well, yes, this theory isn't perfect, and I won't claim that. Like I said, I'm making a series of Blackbeard fruit videos because there just won't be a perfect theory, like it's a mystery. However, just because he has a plan doesn't mean that the theory is debunked. We know that Blackbeard is currently making moves, but we don't really know what he's after. When I read the panel in chapter 956, talking about getting something before the Marines could, I didn't think he was going after a devil fruit. To me, I figured Blackbeard is just heading for the ancient weapons, or maybe poneglyphs. It sounds like he's going after something, much bigger than just a devil fruit, right? So that's my biggest barrier to believing that he's going to get the Orochi fruit, honestly. However, while we don't know exactly what he wants, or where exactly he is going, we do know that there's a reason for people to go to Wano. We know that the world government is heading to Wano, and we know that Blackbeard is racing the world government somewhere. We know that Kaido has reason to be in Wano specifically, and he wants to make sure that it can stay under his control. He's the wisdom deity there. He's worshipped. He wants his daughter to serve as shogun there. Kaido wants Wano to stay under his control for a reason. X Drake also stated that he has a goal in Wano back in chapter 990. He couldn't abandon his post, even if it meant certain death, because it was crucial to the world government that he completes his goal in Wano. Most convincingly, back in chapter 957, Sengoku remarked to Sakazuki, Akainu, he remarked about how Roger, Shanks, and Whitebeard all had connections to Odin, and he says, quote, "Well, doesn't it seem like Wano is a common factor for all of these big shots? It's a bit too much of a coincidence, don't you think, Sakazuki?" That's called foreshadowing. Like, that's a hint. I think that there's something big on Wano. I don't know what it is. I don't know if we'll find out the relevance of Wano during a Kaido flashback or sometime after the raid, but I do believe that there's endgame level significance to the land of Wano. Perhaps it's the place where the ancient weapons were created. We know the poneglyphs were made in Wano, and Sea Prism Stone was established here too. So yeah, we don't know what Blackbeard's going after at the moment, but he wants to beat the world government there. And if there is an endgame level secret to Wano, I bet Blackbeard wants to be there. Perhaps Wano is in the cards for Mr. Blackbeard, and while he's on his way to Wano, he can easily defeat a dying Orochi for what would be the greatest benefit to challenge ratio in the history of ever. Even if his destination isn't Wano, the ending of this raid will be a mess, and so that's definitely worth Blackbeard's time to pop in his head and investigate. So now, if we want to do the tinfoil hat stuff, which I always do, here's a crazy idea that might play out separate from my theory at large. This is separate. So let's just say that Blackbeard is going for the road poneglyphs. We know that he wants to go to Laugh-Tale and become king of the pirates. So if I wanted to get to Laugh-Tale, I would try to get the road poneglyphs as soon as possible, as safely as possible. So what if during the Payback War, Blackbeard took a road poneglyph from the remnants of the Whitebeard pirates? In chapter 909, Marco said, he took everything from us. Maybe that's including a road poneglyph. With 3 more to go, right now most of the Big Mom pirates are being occupied in Wano, and it'd be pretty easy for Blackbeard's sneaky crew, like the invisible swordsman, Shiryu, to sneak into Whole Cake Island and steal Big Mom's poneglyph as well. Now there's only 2 more to go. While the raid is happening on Onigashima, Blackbeard can find Kaido's road poneglyph as well, and then that just leaves the Zou poneglyph, which he can just take from the Thousand Sunny. Amidst the chaos, Blackbeard can take the Orochi fruit as well. So now Blackbeard has all 4 poneglyphs and a new fruit. Now how can he read the stones? Well, it was kind of foreshadowed by Nekomamushi that people are going to start targeting Nico Robin. And she says, well, I have nice strong friends to protect me now. Well, wouldn't it be crazy if those nice strong friends were kind of her undoing? Wouldn't it be crazy if Katarina Devon puts on an illusion as one of the Straw Hats to trick Robin into telling the Blackbeard pirates what the poneglyphs say? They could take Robin back to a fake Thousand Sunny and have her read the poneglyphs. That would be psycho, as Robin speaks the words of the ancient language just to see reality undo itself right before her eyes. She would realize that she just gave the secret to the enemy, and she'd watch it all crash down. Okay, well, enough of that. The tinfoil can be a little too crazy sometimes, but it's just fun. That's fun, but it's just speculation at the end of the day. Speculation at best. My theory today is about Blackbeard getting the Orochi fruits. You don't need to wear a tinfoil hat to acknowledge that Blackbeard getting Orochi's fruit is a realistic possibility. So to recap, we know that Blackbeard is likely wanting a mythical zone. We know that he's going to need a fruit that will give him healing abilities, range, and that it would fit narratively for his story. We know that he's currently trying to make moves to beat the world government to something. And we know that Orochi's fruit is elite, and it wouldn't be too difficult to get. We know that the world government is on their way to Wano. So now I think that Blackbeard is going to stop off at Wano to take the fruit, potentially some poneglyphs or something else that we have yet to learn about from Wano. And we know that Blackbeard's the most opportunistic pirate in the verse. And this raid ending will drastically change the power balance in the New World. So you better believe that Blackbeard's going to take advantage of this, because that's exactly what he does. So, I hope you liked my theory about Blackbeard's next devil fruit, and if you want to see more, please like and subscribe. Please leave some comments down below, because I appreciate hearing from everybody. And I'm also cordially inviting all of the haters to dislike the video too, and also comment too. I have a lot of fun with these theory videos, so I'm going to continue to pump these out. It's what the audience seems to want most as well, so it's a win-win. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of my next Blackbeard Devil Fruit videos. I think I'll have one maybe dropping next week, potentially. The next fruit I have in mind for this video has only been indirectly referenced in the series at large, but I've yet to see any other YouTuber make a video about it, so be on the lookout for that soon. Pretty excited. But until then, thank you everybody. I'll see you next time, and remember, stay golden. Thanks for watching. Bye.